Hey y'all, it's Kaycie, and today I am excited to guide you through a stretch and mobilize class where the emphasis is going to be on the spine. So think back bends, twists, and side bends. We'll work on opening and also building some strength within that range of motion. So all we're gonna need today is one block, and that's just for one posture near the end. So if you don't have a block, you can either use blocks or you can just skip that one pose altogether and be able to enjoy the rest of the class. So let's start in a comfortable seated position of your choosing. Close the eyes, feel the lifting of the spine. Really connect down to the base of the spine, all the way down into your sit bones. So those two little bones at the base of your pelvis, feeling them root down into the ground. And as we root down, feel the lower back lift, feel the mid back, all the way up to the upper back, through the crown of the head. Draw the shoulders up towards the ears, pull them back, keep the spine lifted, and then melt the shoulders all the way down, heavy away from the ears. And we're gonna take just a few breaths together. And as we establish this breath connection, we're going to use it throughout the duration of this practice to help us feel more connected in the present moment with what we're doing. So exhale, let all of your breath out of your lungs. Through the nose, inhale, breathe into the belly and low back. Feel them expand. Draw the breath up into your ribs and your mid back. And then all the way up into your chest, your upper back, and your shoulders. And let's hold here. The entire torso barrels open in all directions. And let's open the mouth and exhale, sigh it all the way out. Seal the lips. Through the nose, inhale, gather the breath through the lower torso. Let it lift to the mid. All the way up to the chest, the upper back, holding the breath. Feel the sides expanding, the back expanding. Keep the breath through the nose this time, just as slowly exhale, melt from the top to the ribs, and exhaling all the way out through your belly. One more together. Slow inhale from the bottom. Slowly and gradually expanding all the way up to the top, holding. And through the nose, exhale from the top, all the way back down, through to the bottom. Take one more on your own. Maintaining this nice full breath. Start to blink open through your eyes. Feel your chin lower down towards the chest. We're going to open up into the neck first, the very top of the spine. Inhale, roll your right ear over towards the right shoulder. Maybe feel your left fingertips reach out to the left and down towards the ground, creating extra space in the side of the neck. You can even take your right hand up and over, resting it onto the temple as you gently guide the head more to the right side. And then release hands to your lap, chin rolls down to the chest. And then let's roll left ear over to the left shoulder. Maybe the right fingertips reach out to the right this time and down towards the ground. And left hand can reach up and over, resting at the temple, and then create space between the hands as they reach away from one another. Nice deep breath. Hands to the lap, chin rolls down to the chest. Let's roll the head back over to the right side. And this time we're all gonna take the right hand up and over, rest it at the temple, and you're just gonna kind of hold the head in place here. And then as you hold the head in place, I want you to resist by trying to lift your head back up to center. Imagine if your hand wasn't there, your head would just lift straight up. So pressing the head into the hand, but holding with the hand, keeping it in place, beginning to feel the activation into those neck muscles. For 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and relax. Keep the head tilted to the right side, and then rotate, looking over your right shoulder. Rotate chin back to center, and then drop it all the way down to the chest. Roll left ear to left shoulder. And then from here, the left hand will reach up and over, resting onto the temple. And as you secure the hand to the temple, keep it here. We're gonna create the resistance by feeling the head trying to press back up to center, but the hand holds it in place. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Relax. Keep the head tilted to the left as you drop the hand down and start to rotate your chin towards that left shoulder. Chin comes all the way back to center, and then drop it towards the chest. Lift the head all the way back up into neutral. And then instead of dropping the head back, I want you to start to lift up through your throat and your chin. Just start to feel the jaw jetting up towards the ceiling. Let the teeth separate. Lift the jaw even more. And then bring the head all the way back to center. Okay, let's come into a tabletop position. All fours, hands and knees. Fingers spread out nice and wide on the ground. Let's take a deep breath in. And exhale, chin to your chest, tail tucks under, round your back into cat pose. Really starting to open up the spine here. On your next inhale, drop the belly down. Scoop the ribs forward, feel the heart lifting, feel the sit bones tilting up, lifting as well. And then exhale, round your back, curling everything in nice and tight, pressing through the hands and through the knees. Inhale, open, reverse the direction, and just take 1 or 2 more rounds on your own, but incorporate whatever movement feels good. So just kind of let this be your intuitive guidance. Move in the way that helps you to work through those little cracks and pops. All right, so making your way back into a neutral spine. We're gonna try a little bit of an exercise here to isolate different areas of the spine for some spinal rolls, okay? Now, if it feels really stiff or stuck in your spine, just do the best that you can. So starting from a neutral spinal position, we're gonna lead the motions with the hips. We're gonna go through the exact same motions, those cat-cows, but instead of working everything together at one time, we're gonna start with the hips, the pelvis. So feel free to just continue your breath. It doesn't have to be one breath, one motion. You're gonna start to tilt your sit bones up as though you're angling your tail towards the ceiling. And as you do, feel the belly drape down. Feel the ribs start to drape down. Feel your heart draw forward and feel your chest lift. Maybe lift up through your throat. And then exhale, you're gonna start to tuck the tail under, and nice and slow, start to feel your lower back rolling up. Mid back starts to roll, navel hugs up to the spine. Start to round through your shoulders, your upper back, and feel your chin wrapping down towards your chest. Reversing, start with the hips. Tilt the sit bones up, dropping through the lower back, dropping through the ribs. Start to drop through the chest as the heart pulls forward and up, lifting up through your throat and through your chin. One more time, leading with the hips. Start to curl the tail under. Feel the rounding of that lower back. Let the rounding trickle up to the mid-back, upper back, shoulders. Chin rolls into the chest. Take one more round on your own. Lead with your hips. Move at the pace of your own breath, one bone at a time. And then once you've completed, and you're now in this fully rounded shape, re-neutralize your spine. Bring everything back. And then lower your forearms down to the ground. Walk your forearms forward if you need to have more space. And then you're gonna start to walk the knees back. until we can lower the hips down to the ground, untuck the toes. So now we're in a Sphinx position. Elbows are directly underneath your shoulders, palms down, and press down into the ground to lift your chest up. We're gonna activate the legs here. So feet press into the ground, quads engage, and the legs are such an important component for back bends. So feel the activation of the legs, which will help to support the back bends. Pull the ground towards you with your hands, and as you do, imagine your ribs pulling forward between the upper arm bones, and then press the ground down to lift your heart up. 2 more deep breaths. You're going to keep your heart lifted as much as you can, but start to open up your elbows, and as you do, you're going to feel your chest lower. Find that point of tension to where you can keep your heart up, and then pull your hands underneath your shoulders, but keep them in a hovered position. Keep the feet pressing into the ground. Feel the back body engaged. Try not to pull with your head. Keep the neck nice and neutral. 1 more breath, lifting a little higher. And then exhale, come all the way down, plant the palms. Now the hands can stay right underneath the shoulders, or you can walk them back a little bit down the rib cage. Elbows stay drawn in. We're gonna go through a few rounds of Cobra. So as you press down into the hands, pull the hands back, activate your legs, and inhale, draw your heart forward and up as much as it feels good. And then exhale, come right back down. Again, press to the hands, pull them back. Inhale, lift your heart forward and up. Keep the feet pressing into the ground. Exhale, roll it all the way back down. Let's do that again. We're gonna hold at the top. Pull through the hands, pressing through hands and feet. Inhale, curl the heart forward and up. And as you come up, open up the chest. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears, even if that means creating a little bend into your elbows. Pull the ground towards you with your hands. Maybe lift your gaze. Take 1 more breath. Now, same thing, keep the legs actively pressing into the ground. You're gonna start to bend the elbows, engage your back body, and find that point to where you can hover your hands. And hold here, neck is neutral for 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down. You're gonna reach your left arm out to the left side with the palm down. Now, bending into your right knee, and you're gonna press through your hand to roll off onto your left side body. And as you do, maybe walk your left fingertips away to create more space for your chest and your shoulder. Relaxing the head down, either to the ground or maybe to a blanket or a block. And then feel the entire front of your body rolling open. Right hand can stay planted to the ground in front of you, or you can drop it around into your lower back. But I want you to really focus on this spinal opening. So you're kind of feeling this open rotation. Take another breath or 2. Deep breath in and out of your nose. If you adjusted your right hand, bring it back over and slow and steady roll back over onto your bellies and hips. Right arm reaches out to the right, left hand underneath the left shoulder, bend your left knee, and this time we're gonna roll off onto your right hip. Maybe walk your right fingertips away this time. Head can relax down, left hand can stay to the ground in front of you, or lift it up and around to the lower back. And same thing, really focus on the front of your body rolling open. Holding here for 3. We are also getting a nice little stretch into the shoulders. 2 and 1. We're gonna take the left hand back over, slow and steady, roll back over onto your bellies and your hips. Plant both hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, Cobra. And as you lift into Cobra, we have this nice grounding through the thighs, down through the knees and to the tops of your feet. If upward dog feels comfortable for you, you can activate the legs, Maybe only have your hands and the tops of your feet contacting the ground. The rest of everything is lifted and open. One more breath. And then exhale, you're gonna pull back onto the knees. Quick little child's pose. Just bring your knees together, sink your hips towards the heels, and let your spine relax over the legs. So as you're staying here, relaxed over the legs, your body's kind of rounding over the thighs. Stretch your arms back down to your sides. Maybe catch a hold of your heels. You can stay here, or I'll give you options if you'd like to take another variation. Chin can come to the chest, bringing the top of the head to the ground. Stay here, or keep your chin to your chest. Maybe lift the hips away from your heels, curling your spine, rolling onto the crown. Holding for 3 deep breaths. 2 and 1. Hips melt back down if they're lifted. Arms start to stretch forward, and slowly make your way back up into a nice tabletop position. Okay, so from here we're gonna do a quick little stretch into the upper back and into the shoulders, and then we'll do a little bit more balancing from there. So walk yourself back on your mat so there's space in front of you. We're gonna come into puppy pose. Hips stay right over the knees. You're gonna walk your hands towards the front of the mat. Try not to let your hips sink back to the heels. Keep them stacked. And then you can either keep your hands where they are, you can always drop the elbows to modify or to lessen some of the pressure. You can also separate the hands wider apart to create more space for your shoulders. Wherever you are, sit bones up and melt the heart towards the ground. Maybe your forehead touches the ground, maybe your chest and your chin touch the ground. Wherever you are, just breathe. Maybe nothing touches the ground besides the hands or elbows. 2 more deep breaths. And then we're gonna slowly start to rock our weight back up, walk the hands back in. And as you bring the shoulders back over those wrists, let's exhale, round your back, chin to your chest, tuck your tail. 1 extra breath here. Re-neutralize your spine. Okay, now we're gonna activate a little bit more into this position. So as you reach forward, I want you to grip the front of the mat so that the fingers can kind of curl under and we can get a nice activation into the arms. So once again, if it's too tight to keep them shoulder width, you can separate the hands a little wider apart. Okay, from here, maybe walk the knees back as needed, lift the sit bones up, and then you're going to pull the mat forward as you drop the heart in. Imagine trying to push the mat forward in front of you and hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly roll the spine back up, walk the hands back in, wrists underneath your shoulders, and let's draw chin to your chest, curl your spine, rounding in here nice and tight. 1 more breath. And then let's come back into a neutral spinal positioning. Right hand is going to begin to reach forward. If you need to reposition on your mats, you can. As the right hand reaches forward, try not to lift your head to create that motion. You're just extending, neck is nice and neutral. Left leg extends back. Nice long line of energy. Now we're going to move really slow here. Try not to rush the process. Bend into your left knee and reach your right hand back in the direction of the foot. I don't want you to touch or grab the foot, okay? Now from here, I want you to extend your chest forward. Feel that left knee drawing back so you're creating length. And then we're going to press the ground down and try to lift your back thigh and lift your chest, reaching back towards the foot as much as you can. It's okay if it can touch, just don't grab it. Keep lifting through the foot, lifting through the chest, pressing through the ground for 3. Keep breathing. 2. Now 1, stay here, or catch the foot if it's there, kick the foot into the hand and lift a little higher. Feel the difference between flexibility and mobility. 1 more breath. Okay, no slingshots. With control, release the foot if you have it, keep it lifted. Reach the arm and leg forward and back, and then reconnect down into tabletop position. Go ahead and either take a few cat-cows, move how you'd like, maybe sink into a child's pose. Your choice, just a couple breaths. Alrighty, let's do that other side. Make your way back up onto all fours. Find your position on the mat. Neck stays neutral. Rest of the spine stays neutral for now. Take your left hand, reach it forward in front of you. Find your balance as you stretch your right leg back. Nice long line of energy, reaching from foot to fingertips. Now bend into the right knee. Left hand reaches back in the general direction of the foot. Do not grab a hold of it. You're going to first lengthen through the spine, all the way through the back knee, and then press the ground down, lift your back thigh, and lift your chest as much as you can. So now you're strength building into your back bend. Holding here, keep lifting, pressing the ground away for 3, 2, 1. Stay here or catch the foot. Maybe kick the foot into the hand, lift a little higher. And then once again, no slingshot. Find the point where you can control. As you release, reach forward and back. And then reconnect into tabletop position. Move however you'd like for a couple breaths. Just re-neutralizing everything here. And then we're going to make our way to a seated position. So you can sweep your legs around to a side. Find your way into a comfortable cross-legged seat. We're going to start with our right leg in front of the left leg. Spine up nice and tall. Arms reach up, take a deep breath in. And you're going to bend your elbows, pull your elbows back. Heart lifts up, and feel the arms gently pull all the way down to the sides. Spine re-neutralizes. Arms reach up, deep breath in. And on your exhale, let's twist to the right side. Left hand is going to catch the knee, right fingertips to the ground, right behind the hips. Lift the spine, take a deep breath in. And then exhale, twist a little deeper. 2 more breaths here. Keep lifting the spine on the inhale. Keep the weight in the hips, not the fingertips. Exhale, twist a little deeper, maybe look back over the right shoulder, completing the rotation. If you want to counter twist, look over your left shoulder. 1 more breath wherever you are. Now stay in your twist, and all you're going to do is take your hands, bring them together at your heart center. So now you're using the strength of those transverse abdominals to hold yourself in this shape. Take 1 more breath in, lift a little taller. Use the core to exhale, twist. Now bring your left hand back to that outer knee, just like we started. And this time take your right hand, reach it all the way up towards the ceiling. Breath in, and then exhale, lean off to that left side. Stretch the right fingertips overhead. And you're holding on to that knee for stability and balance as you stretch over to the opposite side. 1 more breath. Now, same thing. If you need to come out of the side bend a little bit, you can. But I want you to find that point to where you can support without holding on to the knee, and maybe just hover the hand right above the knee. Keep opening up the chest towards the ceiling. Then inhale, come all the way back up, reach both arms high over your head. Right fingertips set down to the ground, right behind you. And then from here, we're gonna extend your left leg all the way out to the left side. Then from here, as you reach the top arm back, open up the chest. Option is to stay here, or you can press into your left foot and your right knee and slowly feel your hips lift off the ground, open up the chest. Reaching, stretching the front side of the body. One more breath. And then slowly bring the hips all the way back down. Bring yourself back to center. Let's set the feet flat on the ground for a moment, dropping onto the hands, and just windshield wiper the knees side to side. And as you sit yourself up, let's cross left leg in front of the right. Spine up, arms reach up, take a deep breath in. Starting with that big morning stretch, bend your elbows, pull the back, heart lifts up, and dragging the elbows all the way down to the sides, hands follow. Spine neutral, arms reach up, breath in. Exhale, twist to the left side. Right hand catches that left knee, left fingertips to the ground, right behind the hips. Keep the weight in the hips. Spine up, breath in, and twist, breath out. Maybe look back over the left shoulder. Continue to breathe, lifting taller on the inhale, twisting on the exhale. For a counter twist, you can always look over your right shoulder. One more breath. Stay in your twist. Even if you back off a little bit, release your hands to heart. Lift the spine taller on the inhale, use the trunk muscles. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Right hand catches the outer knee again. Left fingertips reach up, breath in, and then lean off to that right side, stretching into the left side body. The chest rotates open towards the ceiling, getting that nice elongation from the hip all the way out through the fingertips. Now, if you need to back off a little bit, back off until you can find the point where you can support yourself in this side bend, hovering the right hand. One more breath. Inhale, come all the way back up. Arms reach over your head as you rotate all the way back through to center. And this time we're gonna set the left hand down to the ground behind. Right leg extends out to the right side. Now as I reach the top arm back, opening up the chest, I can stay here, or pressing through knee and foot, lifting the hips, opening up the spine. And then slowly come all the way back down. And as you come back down, let's drop back onto the hands, feet on the floor, windshield wiper side to side. Okay, have your block handy. We're gonna come down onto our backs. And as you come down onto the back, grab a hold of your block, and we're gonna take the block at any desired height. All you're gonna do is fill the space between your hips and the ground. So maybe you have it low, mid setting, or the highest setting will be the farthest lift away from the floor, more intensity, okay? Your body will show you exactly where to go. So with the feet walking in towards the hips, begin to lift the hips away from the ground. Slide your block to fill the space between your sacrum and the ground. And once you have that space, just let your body relax. We did a lot of strength building into the back, and now you can kind of feel that decompression. Normally with gravity, we feel this constant pulling down through our spine, all the way down into the hips, and we get a lot of kind of crunchiness or that smushed feeling into our lower back, a lot of stress and tension that kind of accumulates here from that pressure building. So here the spine gets to relax down away from the hips, kind of that reverse gravitational pull. So this could feel really, really good, but if it does create any tightness in your lower back, you can adjust your block to be closer towards the ground. If you don't have a block at home, you can use books or just take more of an active variation. Obviously, it's not as relaxing, but you still get some benefits from being able to activate into your back bend. So give yourself about, let's take 5 more slow, complete breaths, filling up the entire torso and releasing it all the way out. Last deep breath here. And then begin to lift the hips up away from the block. Remove the block, set it overhead so it's out of your way, and then let the spine and hips roll back down to the ground. Little windshield wipers with your knees side to side. And then we're gonna open the arms straight out from the shoulders. And as the knees come back up to center, separate your feet about the width of the mat, so nice and wide. Keeping them this width as the knees drop to the right side. You can kind of swivel on the feet, letting them fall. And just feel that nice lift into the lower back. Stay here or rest the right foot on top here for a moment and just let it kind of anchor you down into the stretch. Take another breath or so. We will add a little more depth and opening into the lower back here in just a moment. If the foot is on top, go ahead and place it back down. Keep the knees tilted to the right. You're gonna take your left hand up towards the ceiling and then reach it over to the right side as you rock up onto your right shoulder and set your left hand all the way down to the ground to meet the right hand. Now, you can start to walk the left fingertips away. Maybe you walk them overhead, maybe you walk them out to the side. Play with the angle of how you adjust your hand. And as you do, imagine trying to roll your chest towards the floor. You might already start to feel a nice opening into the lower back. If you want to adjust or make a little bit more intensity, then you can take that left foot, the one that's on the floor with the knee bent, and you can slowly start to walk the foot back. And as you extend that top foot back, you're going to create a little more elongation through that left hip and to the side and all the way into the back muscles. One more breath here. If you adjusted that top foot, walk it back in. Walk the left hand back in until you can roll your back and shoulders to the ground. Left arm reaches. Swivel the knees all the way back to center. And then keep the feet wide as the knees now drop to the left. Maybe left foot rests on top here as a little bit of an anchor. Just another breath here. And then the foot comes back down to the ground. Keep the knees tilted to the left. Right hand reaches up and all the way over to the other side. And then same thing, you can walk the fingers away, find the angle that works for you, that feels most appropriate. Maybe take your top foot and stretch it back, finding the angles to create space into your lower back. Nice. Once you find that sensation, let's take another breath here. Adjust the foot back in, walking the right hand back in until you can roll your shoulders to the ground, arm to the side, knee swivel to center. Hug the knees into the chest, and as you wrap your arms around the legs, give yourself a couple sways side to side. Okay, we're gonna take just a brief Shavasana. If you'd like to take a longer Shavasana, then you can always hit pause now and take it for as long as you'd like. Otherwise, set the feet down to the ground, separate the feet about hips width or a little wider, and just let your knees rest in on each other. And creating this internal rotation on the hips will create more broadening into the lower back. Just allow that space to be present. Arms rest wherever they're comfortable, slight tucking of the shoulders, opening up the chest. One deep breath together. Let's all exhale. Slow breath in from the belly to the ribs and all the way up into your chest and your shoulders. Hold the breath. And then open your mouth, exhale, let it all the way out. Relax any efforting over your breath. Relax all the muscles in your face, the jaw, the tongue. And then just allow yourself to enjoy the stillness here. Maybe about 5 or 6 more slow, soft breaths. If you want longer, hit pause, take your time. Otherwise, wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to rock your head side to side. Feel the knees start to pull to the chest as the arms wrap around the legs. And then just roll over to your left side. Pressing down into your right hand as you lean in. Lift yourself all the way up, nice, comfortable, seated position of your choice. And as you situate yourself here, spine lifts, hands rest at the lap here for just a moment as you close your eyes and let your body sway until you feel the rooting into your sit bones. Lifting all the way up through the crown of your head, just like we started. Lifting the shoulders up, pull them back, and release them all the way down as the spine stays tall, lifted, supported. Hands joined together at your heart center. And just take a moment here to thank your bodies for all that they did for you today. And thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for joining me for this practice. Spinal work is not easy work, and this kind of breaks down into the more accessible movements, which I really enjoy, but finding the balance between strength building and flexibility is so important, especially when incorporating through the spine. And remember, when doing any kind of back bending, it means opening up the front side of the body. So we'll have more adding on to this to kind of progress the opening and mobility of the spine over time, so stay tuned. Let me know in the comments how you like this video, if you have any questions or anything else that you would like to see, any poses you would like to learn. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and thank you so much. I'll be seeing y'all soon.